If you've spent a lot of money on your driver and it's in your bag gathering dust, I'm going to show you how to use it properly. So this is the second video in a two-part series. If you haven't watched the first video, the link will be in the description below. So where a lot of people go wrong when they're hitting driver is they work on their arms first and their body second. Now I'm going to switch that round. We need to work on the body movement first, because if that's right, it's easy to put the arm swing on top of it. But if the body movement's poor, you're going to be compromised in your golf swing. So what I want to do now is show you exactly how we want your body to move. And it's so much easier once you've set up correctly, which we've done in the first video. So what I'm going to do is take my correct width of stance and I'm going to put the club across my shoulders. So this is my start point, and remember we want the left shoulder to feel slightly higher than the right shoulder if you're a right-handed golfer. Now this is the way I want your body to move. So we're going to turn your right shoulder, your right hip, until the club is in line with your right foot. So imagine your body is a big spring. The bottom of the spring is your feet, the top's your head. We're keeping the bottom bit fairly steady and we're twisting the top, and that's where we're going to get energy in the golf swing. What we're not doing is doing what I see so often, where people just move laterally to the right. We're turning to the right, we're spiraling to the right, and you're loading your right side up. Now it's in this position, we can really transfer that energy into the back of the golf ball. If I just move casually this way and this way, we're not storing up the energy where we want to hit that golf ball a long distance. So that's the backswing. So we're turning, so we've set up the shoulders correctly. We're turning in to the right side of your body. Now we've got to go in the other direction. That way. So can you see now how my shoulders are turning? They're not, I'll do it from this way, they're not tilting upwards, they're not going up in this fashion, they're turning. Coiling is another word that can often be used, and now we've got to do that in the other direction. Bang, that way. So an issue that I see a lot of golfers do, if I see this from this angle, is they often move the shoulders upwards in the backswing and then come over in the downswing, and they can start hitting the golf ball miles offline. So because I'm into a good posture here, all I'm doing is turn my shoulders around my spine angle. So from here, you'll see the shaft of the golf club is on a slight angle. What I'm not trying to do is point them down to the golf ball. I'm just coiling in this direction, and then if I do it from this position, so I've got this bit correct, now I'm going to go in the other direction. Now what you might see here is my right shoulder is slightly in front of my left shoulder here, and that's just because I've got good rotation. And I have to say, I do work on my rotation separately, so I do some exercises that gives me more mobility. We're not all able to do that, but it's just a good guide how we want the shoulders and the body to move. Now, just a couple of things that we need to point out. So when we started off before, the weight was 60-40 favouring your right side. As I've turned to the top now, I would say it feels more like at least 70% on my right side. And then when I go in the other direction, I've got 100% on my front foot. So that is a really good weight distribution through impact. What we don't want to do, and I see this all the time, is keep the weight on your back foot when you're trying to connect with the golf ball, because you'll miss hit it so easily. So it's turn right, turn left, your weight is transferring from one foot to the other. If we can do that with good rhythm, even better. And one of the most important things you need to do at the end of this is try and finish in balance. There's a lovely saying in golf, you need to stick a finish. I would say one of the best drivers of the golf ball that we could all watch is Rory McIlroy. We know that he hits it a long way. He's swinging the golf club at a lot of speed, but he holds a balanced finish. So we're not trying to get the speed up to 125 miles an hour unless you're an incredible athlete. But if you could hold a balanced finish, that has massive value.
It is true to say though that Rory McIlroy learned his golf swing from the finish. That's
from the
how
finish
he's all
backwards.
From the finish.
I believe that's true. I hope it's true. But if you could stick a finish, you're swinging in balance, you're going to hit a lot of good golf shots.
Is that famous saying, start with the end in mind?
Great saying, isn't it? Yeah, fabulous. So it's no good just having a good body movement. Now we need to show you how to put the arms on top of it. So now what we need to do is attach the arms to the body movement. This is why the fundamental setup is so important, because that's getting your arms into the correct place. Now think of the golf swing as a circle on an angle. So depending on the length of your golf club will depend on the angle of the golf swing. So if I have a short golf club, the swing would appear more upright, but because we're hitting driver here and I'm stood a little bit more upright because of the length of the golf club, the swing now, the arm swing, is going to move around the body roughly on a 45-degree angle. It's not precise, but it gives you a good idea of what we're looking for. So a bad backswing is if we've got good body turn and we move the club up in this fashion. This is what we call an upright swing. That's going to cause a problem. If I swing the club too much around the body, that's going to cause a problem. Somewhere in the middle is never going to be a bad position to get in. So it's easier to move the arms on the correct path if your body movement's good. That's why we needed to work on the body movement first. So I'm just going to set up to the golf ball, and as I turn to hip height, my body is moving my club around into this position here. So we're roughly at 45 degrees. And to finish the backswing off, all I have to do from here is just complete my shoulder turn. So I'll just show you that from face on. So we're turning, we're getting into that great posture, we're turning, we're setting the wrist, and we complete the turn, and that gets the club into a really good position at the top of the backswing. Now what we have to do is bring it down correctly. So I'm going to do this from sideways on. So as I've turned away, setting my wrists, complete the backswing, what we don't want to do now is start the downswing with your left shoulder if you're a right-handed golfer. Watch what happens to the club if I do. So now I've started my left shoulder and the club is coming down from the complete wrong angle. This is something that we see slicers of the golf ball do very often. They tend to hit down with a driver. You'll hit the ball on top of the golf club and it'll shoot up in the air. It could go left, or more likely it's going to bend off to the right. So starting the downswing with the shoulder incorrectly pulls the arms offline. Likewise, what we don't want to do, so we've got it good at the top, is to lean backwards. And you see now how the club shallows out. Now the club's working too much from the inside, and then we're going to have to manipulate the golf club through impact. Also incorrect. So once I've turned correctly, now the club is working down. So the sequence is down, around, through. Down, around, through. That's the correct sequence that we're looking for. Now the position, I don't really like talking about positions, but I'm going to talk about it in this video, is as we're starting it correctly, at this point here now, the shaft of my golf club is pointing parallel to my ball to target line. So all I have to do from here is release the club correctly to impact. So if I just show you that from face on again, so I've turned correctly, it's down, and now from here, release the club. So it's back to where it was pretty much when we started. What you'll see from here is my shoulders will be fairly straight or parallel to my ball to target line. My hips will be starting to open. The club face will be hitting the ball square. Then we're through into that full finish. So I'm still moving the body exactly as we've practiced it, but now we're starting to put the swing on top of the body movement. So what I'll do now is I'll just hit a shot and let's see what happens. I'm not going to hit this at full speed, just for the demonstration purposes of this video, but let's see how that looks. So just a quick summary on what we've just done. So it's making sure that your body is moving correctly and putting the arms movement on top of the body movement. So remember this sequence. On the way down, the club works down, around, through. That's the best way of starting your downswing.
And do you know what? That mantra, down, around and through, will stop you thinking about everything else as well.
It does stop you overthinking.
Eradicate a lot of complicated swing thoughts. Down, around and through, make it your mantra.
Perfect. So to make real change, you need structure. At Proper Golfing, we've dedicated our time and knowledge to do this in a structured way. So in the library section, there's over 300 videos explaining everything from the setup to a full swing and all the other shots in between. Like chapters in a book, they're all set out correctly, so it's really easy to follow and to understand. So as an added benefit of being a member, you can also send in your swings for analysis, and you'll get a private invite to a Zoom meeting that we host every couple of weeks, where you'll meet all the members of Proper Golfing and we'll talk about all things golf. So what I want to do now is just share with you a golden nugget. If we're looking for that little bit more club head speed to send the golf ball a bit further, we need to understand grip tension. So what I'm going to do is hit a golf ball and I'm going to hold the club really tight. I'm going to say at least 8 to 9 out of 10. So as I hit this, we're going to find out what my club head speed is. So I'm holding this really tight, even though I'm trying to make a good golf swing. Okay. Now that one went off to the right because I didn't feel I could release the golf club, but let's check out the swing speed. So the swing speed on that one was 95 miles an hour. And I didn't feel I could go much quicker than that because my muscles are locked up. Let's just show you what happens when you relax your grip pressure. So instead of holding the golf club at 8 or 9, now I'm going to feel more like 3 or 4. And let's just see if anything happens to the swing speed. So not only has it gone straight, let's just have a quick look at the swing speed. So the previous one was 95 and that's just gone up to 103 miles an hour. 8 mile an hour club head speed is really beneficial to hitting that golf club a long way. So remember, tight is slow, relaxed is fast.
You know what we talk about? The massive results from small changes. And if that's the only one thing that you changed was your grip tension, you're going to get that extra.
We can see 8 miles an hour is too much to give up, so grip it light, not tight.
Grip it light, not tight. Is that a new saying?
It is now. Thanks for watching this 2-part series. Remember to like, comment and share, and if you need to get hold of us, the link's in the description below.